Whoa. And we are online. Hello, Internet. Welcome to another Blender Institute Weekly. We have a full house with 17, 18 people here. We have loads of guests. All the guests will introduce themselves, and everybody here will talk about what they did in the last week. So let's start over there.
Hi, my name is Jeroen Bakker. I'm a developer of Blender, especially on the compositor side.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm Frederick. I managed Blender Diploma with Gottfried and wrote the Cycles Encyclopedia recently.
Did you do training?
Yeah, of course.
You get hired by people to come to their studios?
So far, only once. But sure, I'd like to.
But you want to be more? We
Yeah.
always get studios contacting us, like how do you
Okay, yeah,
and
sure.
so on and stuff.
I could do that.
Make sure that Francesco and Pablo know. I know. The Blender Network. Make sure that they work for you.
Yeah. I'm Blender certified trainer and on the Blender network. Of course.
My name is Linda and I am a Blender groupie.
The Blender Group.
Yeah.
And what do you do in Amsterdam?
I work for an enterprise design company.
What?
Enterprise design company.
Enterprise design.
Yes.
Design enterprise.
Yes.
What's the flyer?
Designing a spaceship.
Yeah, that's the best job ever. Yeah.
We've already got Captain Kirk, and now we're looking for him.
Better hurry. You didn't look too good last time I saw it.
I once gave Captain Kirk a hand, so now you can touch him too.
Oh!
Feel it?
Cool. I'm Rick. I am also a Blender developer and recently more teaching Blender to kids.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And that works a bit. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah?
they're very
It's such a
enthusiastic.
complicated piece of software to train to kids.
No, not if you simplify it a bit.
Yeah.
And we did a Blender workshop in a few 2 hours. Now give them one Blender game engine thingy and an animation, and they just went through it like that.
Is that stuff online format?
No, not at the moment.
It's
This
coming.
was just at schools.
Talk about it at the conference. Have you done that yet?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was nice.
nice.
I'm not a guest.
What are you doing? So here we have the
My name is Nanda van Dijk. I'm a 3D character animator. I do all kinds of projects. I worked on Triple Trappel a while back. That's 2D animated feature in Holland. And I'm very interested in the projects here, so I came to take a look. Yeah.
What 3D software are you using at the moment?
At the moment, Maya. Yeah.
But did you look at Blender already?
I did a little.
Lots of Blender people that I can
Yeah.
And moving from Maya and animated to Blender is peanuts, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Moving from Maya to Blender, peanuts.
Yeah.
Animated. The answer is
Yeah,
yes.
like you don't come back after it.
Okay.
Okay, this time we start at the left side.
All right.
With
why not?
Pablo. And then we move around.
Hello. Hello. Hello, this is me and my face.
Maybe there's a thing from Mathieu? Or
Maybe there is a thing from Mathieu. Is there a thing from Mathieu?
Yeah, it should be the trailer.
The trailer. When I watch the trailer. Damn. Without asking.
has a sound design.
It does?
Well, it does. It does.
The first sound design ever.
All right, let me share it with the planet. Hello, planet.
My name is Victor. Hi. You are Frank. Oh, you are so much more than just a sheep, aren't you? Oh, yeah. How would you know?
All right. Huh? At the end? Yeah, I also got the sound a bit lower. Otherwise, it would go back again. So yeah, there's that and the whole edit, like the whole movie. Boring.
Very cute.
We haven't shown it in a while. We should do it once.
Oh, wait, you could have seen the whole film. You can put it
On the cloud.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't seen anything. I've seen one still on the ship. And
You have seen the trailer now for the first time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's cute.
What do you think? What is it about?
I have no idea.
But I'm intrigued.
About a sheep.
I'm intrigued. I want to see more.
Yeah.
Cosmic washing machine.
Yeah.
There's so much more than a sheep. How do you know?
I don't know. Show me more.
Mission accomplished.
Good.
And show more then.
We will show more. I think further material has been working on lots of shots and stuff, but they are.
They're in the
you are going to show some of them, or they're not.
He exported an edit before
But
leaving.
you also
So
did stuff for the cassette recorder, and I think not many shots, but that's not in this folder.
there are two videos. The full edit, which he exported before leaving. So maybe that includes his stuff.
I'm not going to put it.
No time for it. Okay. It's gonna be on the cloud.
Next week. Okay, thank you, Matthias.
Thank you, Matthew. Hello. All right. So this week, I worked on trying to get this, which is a tract. It was a tract on Monday, and by Friday, it became like this. So it's very nice. The lighting, it was done on Monday, and then it was undone, but it was made for review. And most of the shots here that say they're in progress, actually they're more than in progress. They're in review, waiting for the farm. We had a big queue, and a bunch of hair shots and grass have been done. So it's quite a progress. But most of the things that we did they are still waiting. And up to here, it's already more than 2 minutes. More than 2 minutes, counting these few shots. So I think we are on track with that. Then this shot, we already seen it many times already. But the reason there is no grass here is because it's going to be simulated. So, but the lighting is done. It's done. We did some render test of it, but it's done. It's not on the farm yet because it needs to be simulated and it takes forever. So okay, next shot, the same. Did some render tests and a little animation that I can show you.
Context your mission, or is it like this?
What?
It's just not really interesting.
It's
that
not
point in the sky.
No, it's very interesting, but just not now. It's not a lot happening. We can't really see it, but there is a little bug that came back about random the position of the rocks came back, and then but at least we tried with the new lighting and with the new grass is moving now.
The ears are not different.
No, they shouldn't. The rig changed, and this, of course, doesn't have any simulation yet, but it's being worked on, simulated. So that's another shot. Then I should have gone in order because 111A also has been rendered with some simulation stuff by Andy and some grass by just some noise in the graph editor. Very nice uplifting scene. The
This is not the end, this is the beginning.
spoiler. Exactly, it's the beginning of the movie. It fails. So, but look at the lighting and the things going on.
Yes.
Of course.
It's gruesome.
Yeah,
Wonderful. You hear him screaming.
it's dying.
What are you doing to me? And everybody laughs.
Once again and again and again. So yeah, this we sent to the farm. He came back. Boom. Anyway, enough. So the lighting has changed. Now we have moving grass, which you don't see because of the noise, but it's just a low resolution. But the grass moves, everything moves. It's almost there to go to Cuerno, and this we rendered in Paris by hitting homes. Then I also work in this shot, which I wasn't really supposed to do, but I mean, we have to tackle a lot of them anyway. So this is way ahead in one after he's talking with Victor. So I did two render tests, and then I play a little bit with like getting the lights and stuff with the compositor, but we are not supposed to touch the compositor yet. Our hands are tied. Because we want to get it nice in the render before moving. And then I did this shot today, which is also is way ahead. It's not even, the animation is not even done yet. It's a layout, and there is they're starting to, I think it's 121B.
It is the one where Victor walks away.
Yeah, after this, Victor goes away. But I wanted.
It's in the first 6.5 minutes. Of course, it's done.
Of course, it's done. Of course.
The animation is done. That's clear.
You can tell.
We'll talk about Monday.
Anyway, but from this shot, there are many back and forth, so it was nice and important to do it. So yeah, this and the other shots I don't have because they're still on the farm. And
looks really nice.
Thank you. Cycles.
What?
Very sad, actually. So don't do much on the face because we won't see much. That's the problem of lighting a shot from behind. But anyway, that's it.
Okay.
Click, click, click.
Andreas.
Whoa. We were.
You can just go to my folder, and it's mostly simulation. I did simulation this week and the tornado shot. You can probably show the image first, the last one. Sums up this week pretty much.
This is what we wanted, but it was rejected, right?
We might still get it every once in a while.
Too crazy.
And then we'll just cry inside. Okay, so you can just drop everything into a playlist. So this week I tackled a tornado shot that we need to add to the trailer, but also I tried to simulate everything that has Frank in it, and that is in the first half, and that is marked as final for animation. So here you can see it if you play it back.
Bang.
First shot, wind.
Yeah.
Look at the shade.
Yeah,
Look at the simulation, and we don't see the intersections here because the light is shining from the back into the front, and we don't see the hair going through the hoofs. In the next one, we should see Frank dragging the branch. You go to the next one. This is Frank. There's actually the branch in the foreground. You'll see that part in the next shot, but this is what I tried to do today. So I tried to get the rope interaction with the fur and him working. I think it's reasonably okay.
Yeah.
So in the next shot, you actually see what has been rendered. This is without the first sim, but you can see that the grass is now reacting to the branch. It just has to be merged together.
Look at that.
Yeah, you don't see that in the projector. It's a bit horrible.
On the monitor.
Yeah. Well, just imagine that the grass is actually...
It's not so bad.
That's amazing.
So now in the next iteration of this, it will be almost finished. I have to go over the grass because some parts are still intersecting with the branch, and I need to get rid of that. Then if you go to the next, this is C2, I think. one of the big shots. There's some intersection with the fur and the ear, but we don't see that since there's darkness there. So I think this has actually been rendered on the farm.
Nice. Wow.
All right, and yeah, and if you go to the next one, this is C3. I think it will be touched up, right? If I reckon correctly. It has also,
C3?
yeah, this has also been rendered already, but yeah, there's a lot of cuts in between, so
Yeah.
this is this is the whole sequence.
When he's
basically.
not moving, it's because Victor is talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's not moving.
Yeah, but I just did the entire simulation for the whole thing, tried to make sure that there's very little intersections, and then we just have to wait for the render to come back and see what is what's wrong and what we have to fix. All right, in the next all right, in the next one I did, that's H1. There's Victor in the foreground here, and in the next one there's also more of that. And he's looking at the timer, and the timer has a little flashing bug. Of course, that will not be rendered, hopefully. All right. Yeah, we'll have to review all these. In the next one, you can see this one. Yeah, oh crap. Actually, this is actually, just go to the next one. Yeah, this is the current version. Actually, no, this is the last one. Before that, I made his fur a bit less stiff. But this is the shot where Victor is walking away.
Victor.
Yeah. All the sim files, yeah. Oh, what you can see, everything has a sim file, everything is animated, everything is final, and yeah, can be sent to the farm.
The size of the sim file for this?
This is like 10 gigabytes or something.
For like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't look at this exact thing, but it might be like 10 gigabytes or so, yeah. If you go to the next one, you can see this is the simulation, the first simulation for the running of the tornado, which also works quite nicely since Lucas made the adjustments to the hair simulator. No more flying hairs, and this is also currently in the latest version of that file. In the next one, you can see the first render setup from the beginning of this week of this shot. So this is how it looked like, I don't know, on Tuesday or so.
In the edit.
Yeah, this is what we saw in the edit. This is just the range that we see in the trailer. In the next one, you can see a bit more of a refined version. This is with vector motion blur, some glitches here and there. I tried to tweak the lighting for this. I already talked with Mathieu about this, and the ground is a bit too dark, and I made some adjustments to lighting for this. So in the next, you can see what has been rendered last night. There's some frames missing. You can see that there's dust flying into the camera, and then towards the end, it gets more red as the whole tornado stuff goes over the whole scene. Yeah, more pink. And I can imagine, like, I'll add some more bushes. That's what Manu suggested, to make it a bit more exciting. You know, add some of the speed, and also dust and debris flying off into the tornado. And then I'll probably send this to the farm today or tomorrow. So we have it on Monday, hopefully. But I think I'll try to render this with vector motion blur. It works quite okay for this. Everything is moving really fast, and it hides some of the noisiness from the smoke rendering. That should be it.
Good.
Awesome.
So very quick for the guest, can Pablo quickly show how the tornado looks.
How tomato looks? Where would you have a tomato?
On the website.
Which website? On the
Gooseberry. Blender.org.
All of this.
On the front page. I
Yeah.
think Elise
Yeah,
uploads
sure.
blenders.
Yeah. Go to the film. Film.
Oh, you can
And
there,
then
you
scroll
can
down
there,
to
yeah.
gallery.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
And then there's down there. So yeah, there we go.
Yes.
This is the drum of the washing machine coming out of the sky. Already animated. And then next,
And
there is
then,
a tornado.
no, wait.
No,
That's a
baby
tornado.
balloon.
Beautiful tornado.
Ah, this is one of the tornadoes. Without the drum, without the island.
And then this is concept art for the inside of the tornado. And just more awesome stuff.
Okay. That's the
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
spoiler. Ah, but then you shouldn't have been here. But you still don't know what the movie is about.
No idea.
Exactly.
More and more confused.
But now there's a washing machine.
Cosmos Laundromat.
That's even a laundromat.
You get some clean sheets.
Wool now.
It's a typical
Frank
sheet
comes
meets
out
washing
like-
machine kind of story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really felt it.
So,
you know what to do?
Oh shit.
I know what to
You
do.
guys also didn't see the washing machine.
Take over.
But you have the
take
credit.
So-
Mhm. After that, you see Victor climbing out of the washing machine in the laundromat. And then you got the laundromat. You were in the hole.
And then it all makes sense.
But then
mixed together.
it was even more mysterious.
Yeah.
You see that every-
All right, so let's get back on track.
Alrighty. So I'm going to do the boring. It's not so boring, but we were going to have to wait a little bit part first. So this is a file which is by a friend of mine, Michael Zescu.
Share.
Yep, I'm going to share it on YouTube. So not really. You are doing meta share. So
You have to press the other share window. Share.
sorry, where?
Oh, shareception.
Yeah.
Sharing the window that is sharing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now
Sorry
click again.
for that. So we need to do this. All right. That's it. So, so this is Scout. We're going to go to Dintopo and do some tests. Basically, so I've just enabled Dintopo, and we're waiting for Blender to convert the mesh to the internal representation that is used for Dintopo. So we're waiting. It's going to take about 30 seconds. So part of what I did is optimizing this whole process, and which also takes is also happening when we undo. So it's over, and I'm gonna do a stroke here really quick, and then undo. And this is the 247 build. So we're going to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
So it's going to take about 20 seconds. We're going to wait some more. Sorry for that. It's a boring part, but it's necessary. All right. So this is 2.4. So I've been working on that. I'm going to open the same file with Blender 2. With a recent Gooseberry, which also includes the fixes that I've made for this. So I'm going to share. This is Blender. Need to open the file again. All right. So again, the same thing. Going to Scout mode. Enabling the topo. We have to wait. Yeah, it's over. So done. Yeah. So it's over. I'm going a little Scout here. I'm doing
2, 3, 4.
Wow. So it's
on a normal computer it will only be half a second.
It still needs some optimizations, but it's gonna be a lot better if we thread it. So I'm going to work on that next. But it's already a big improvement. It's going from unusable to slightly usable. So yeah. And since we're already in the Gooseberry branch, I'm gonna show the other things that I did. Basically, the animators came to me last week and asked for a few features. So we have to wait for it. So we have a shot of Frank here, and we are in the dope sheet. I'm going to click to clean the preview to make our life easier. Okay, so we had a feature where you could basically scroll. You might scroll the time indicator at some point, and then you press the number pad 0, and the program shifts to the place where the current frame is. So the animators wanted a bit more focused on that. So one idea was to basically have a few seconds at the left and the right instead of just jumping randomly, because you might be zoomed out, for example, and you might want to focus. So one idea was to basically focus a few seconds to the left and the right, or a few keyframes. So this is what I added recently. So if you go to interface,
I think they just see a black.
Yeah, they don't see
Really?
it now. You can do it from within Blender.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Okay, now you see it. Now I'm going to open a user preference window here. Come on, user preference is here. Okay, so we go down, and this is the option. So the previous behavior was keep range, and now we have seconds. So we can say we want 2.3 seconds. It's going to take the frame per second's time value, and when I press 0, it shows us 2.3 seconds to the left and to the right. The other option is keyframes. I can specify that I want to show 3 keyframes to the left and to the right, and as soon as I press zoom, it shows me 1 to 3 keyframes to the left and 1 to 3 keyframes to the right. So that's one thing. And then the final thing, which I'm not sure how we're going to show, but I'm going to try it, is we wanted to have sound when using the player or the internal player of Blender. So I'm gonna open up an animation file here really quick. Yep, desktop, and I have the agent demo from Hjalti, and I'm going to start it up. And, yeah, sorry, Pablo, of course. And I don't know. So, yeah, this is Blender. This is how the Blender animation. Okay, I'm not sure. All right. So if we try to scrub, it still doesn't work, but it's gonna work. I'm gonna work on it, and it's gonna.
Monday.
Yeah, probably it will work on Monday. Yeah. So that's.
Starting this weekend, or
and now you finally can animate.
I think so.
about time.
Now we can
So that's all from me.
The problem is that we cannot limit software to scrub and play animation with sound. Because for lip sync, you want to hear the sound
And
also.
it's scrubbing
So, right? And
Yeah.
fast and backwards.
Right.
So what software do you use for that?
Yeah, Maya, you can scrub it as well.
Yeah.
When you export.
When I export, yeah, I play blast, so it will be
What, QuickTime?
quick
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have audio scrubbing.
No,
There's audio scrubbing is not that important in the player.
not in the video player, no.
No.
But when
Frame
you
by
animate,
frame is, but
it
when you
is,
animate, yes. But Blender can already do that. But
Yeah.
it's not that important in the player to have scrubbing audio.
But you want that.
To be nice, but it's not a major top of the list thing.
But having sound would be already in the beginning.
Yeah,
That's right. And make sure it's in sync.
So
and
you
it's-
already are happy.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
right.
that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I told you, you are now the most popular developer of the whole Blender Institute.
Of the animators.
For one
Of the
day,
animators,
huh?
maybe.
For the animators.
The whole second island of the Blender.
Yeah.
Cool island.
Yeah.
It's the best time.
Now you are the least popular animator of the developers.
Okay, Francesco, you have something?
Yes.
You can show attract. It works.
Or not.
Oh, he's already showed it. The render farm.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
So stuff works.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Francesco.
It's not embarrassing, it's awesome. And you already presented this. So now we can fit different jobs. We have the stuff, we have a bunch of. Well, okay, I ran out of things to say, but nothing. It's great and we're using it constantly. So.
Good. Next is Lucas.
Yeah, I don't have any weekly stuff to show. So.
But that's because
Bug fixes
Andy
and-
showed all your stuff.
Yeah, there's bug
Okay.
fixes, and next week I will have more. I have a few features that I did, but I haven't pushed them yet because we're at the tight deadline now, and I don't want to break stuff.
We keep that tight deadline for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything works great.
Yeah, exactly. Basically.
Bjorn.
All right. Okay, did a whole bunch of work. In fact, the whole animation team did. So I'm going to show some work for everyone. So the first one would be, actually, I'm going to start with the bug. Could you play glitch rope? Because this is important.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, just, yeah.
I've been looking into that.
There's a random bug that's shown up in our scenes. You can see that there.
You've seen it a couple
It's
of
happening with the timer and with the rope, and that's okay if it's only happening in the OpenGL viewport, you know. But unfortunately, it's shown up actually in when Andy's tried to do a hair sim, and
I saw the rope disappear too.
yeah. So we're still trying to chase it down. We don't even know what it is, whether it's
It's
in
really
the
random. You don't have
It's
it
totally
on
random.
the start.
You can't know. It's totally random.
Sometimes.
Very rare.
And we don't even know if it's in the rig or if it's in Blender. Or so anyway, this is for people who tune in every week. We'll see if we can solve it over the next few weeks because we kind of have to.
But it's not in every rope file.
Nope. And it's not even. Sometimes it's the
Not on the
timer.
same frame. Share.
It could be spline OK. It could be multi-threading. It could be the depth graph. Maybe I don't know. No one knows.
There's 3 proxified armatures in this.
That's another thing it could be. So anyway, that's the bad news. Now for the good news.
3. 1 for Frank, 1 for the timer, 1 for the rope. 3 armatures.
Blender is well known to handle maximum 2.
Come on.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
It's
Yes,
not a rope.
Yes.
It's not a rope.
For the people at home, let's just move on. Let's. I've demoed that. Let's move on. So the next one would be that one. F1 to H1B. This is a whole bunch of people's work from. So Hjalti, Sarah, and I worked really hard this week to get this whole big sequence done.
Well, this better be good. It took me ages to tie that rope with my fucking boots. No more needles. No more sheepy business. Oh, time flies. Wait. How does this thing work? I mean, how do I make it work? No, you don't. I just turned it on for you. Where can I go? Where can I go? We'll pick you up. Don't worry. Just stay here. In this exact place. Don't move. Just wait. That's it? Hey! Hey! Wait, mister! Casper! Hector, whatever!
No, it's just animation.
It's just animation. It's
Yeah.
sequence.
It's not sliding.
So that's about a minute's worth of animation. It's not all we did either. Like we've done a whole bunch of stuff. And you'll see when these guys do their weeklies. Yeah, I'm not even going to explain who did what. There's just a bunch of stuff there. So then the last bit there would be B to D. Yeah, that one there. is pretty much did this all yesterday. It's an update on something I'd done previously, but it needed to be completely redone.
Ah, that's when I did the lighting.
Yeah, right.
Good.
So yeah. There's that. And then lastly, I've got 3 images to show.
Oh. I don't mind say that.
Because they're going to be spectacular.
Bam.
All right. So that was 2 weeks ago. This is the first 6.5 minutes in the movie 2 weeks ago. And then next, that was last week. And then next, that's this week.
Wow.
You can't really read.
Especially at the right column.
Yeah, all the green.
Not very visible here for us.
Yeah. Final. We've only got 3 work in progress shots left, and they're pretty small jobs to finish. So that's the first 6.5 minutes.
We're done.
Yeah.
So now you can have a free weekend. How about that?
Yeah.
Good. All right. But they can do simulation. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, you can still see there's a few could be betters. We're going to go back and polish a few things, but they're all like half-hour jobs, 5-minute jobs. It's not a lot of work, but we're at the stage now where it's all basically animated, and the sim and lighting guys can move on. So yeah, over to Healthy.
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pablo. I didn't rank them.
Jesus
Okay,
remember.
Oh my God, dude. I don't know.
I don't know. Date modifier.
Yeah.
The date.
Date
Do it in order update. What?
Oh my God, that's yours.
Play everything.
No, just play the latest version of everything.
Wait,
If you just do.
wait.
Oh yeah.
This? No, for Frank.
Okay.
There are like 5 minutes in between. What is
Yeah.
it?
Okay. Do the Frank one first. That's the thing I was doing today. I was yeah. In the background, Frank's pulling, and it kind of didn't work from the side view with the branch, and also it didn't hook up correctly to the next shots. So I had to kind of rip apart some of the animation and splice it back together, and then redo a lot of the rope and the branch stuff, just to make it actually function and feel like it's I mean, it's kind of there. It's not 100%. This is the first time actually I see the whole thing just playing out. Yeah, but you can see in the no fur and the fur version, dragging it up there, that he's actually kind of tiny.
You did that.
Yeah, just
eating.
No. Yeah, Sarah animated the dudes on the right, and I was making sure that Frank was. Yeah. It's Sarah. It's Sarah. Sarah. Yeah.
You show all the good stuff from other people.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's
So
what I do.
let's go into Sarah's folder and let's.
He's
Yeah.
got hagelslag on his face.
Yeah, a little bit. So there's a fur version of that maybe, but it's also kind of weird. There's a lot of creepy.
Creepy business.
Yeah.
So it has even less.
Yes, exactly.
And then the sun comes from here, it's even less.
Yes. Just
So the way how you animated the stick is really good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
It's nice moving.
Yeah. I was trying to kind of make it feel like it's not going over like perfectly. It's like it has some weirdness in it. So you can maybe show me my folder so I can tell you what.
I think I know what it's about.
Yeah, that
now.
one.
I think it's a commercial for growing hair.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So I finished this one. I had a lot of versions of this, of like the gesture that Victor does and how he comes down with his hands and yeah, like also when it came to the sequence in whole, it kind of made sense that he would start walking away and then maybe go into his pockets, because later on when we get back to him, we see him taking out the recorder. So it kind of is a good prelude to that. I think that was the right word. Okay, next.
I like this rock cycle.
Yeah, it's kind of dandy. I have a lot of versions. Yeah. Yes, please.
Stay here. This exact.
Fixing some of the lip syncing.
Don't worry. Just stay here. This exact. Pick you up. Don't worry. Just stay here.
Okay, enough of that. Next. It's a lot of those kind of things that happen. Like you do a shot and it's only 2 seconds, but it's a lot of yelling, and then you hear that thing loop again and again.
Do you turn it off after a while?
Yeah, I have to.
Did you do this one?
Yeah. I tweaked something in this thing.
Worth, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. I fixed something in the stupid shot, but yeah, it took forever. Okay, next.
This is the best shot of the film.
Wow.
That's all repeats.
Yeah, the E1. No, shit.
B.
The B, yes, please. Yeah, this is the most important shot of the entire movie. I call this the blue steel Zoolander. the Zoolander. Sorry.
Zoolander.
Yeah. That's the professional.
A duck face. A little bit of a duck face.
Yeah, a little bit of a duck face. Professional male model. Yeah, that's his. What do you call it? Magnum. That's his Magnum.
Yeah.
Where he actually turned right.
He's turning right.
He's turning right. He's turning right. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's blue steel. It's blue steel. All right. So. Next up, there's something.
What is this?
The E2, I guess.
1B. This?
Or yeah, sure. Yeah, it's amazing, right? He stands up. And the other guy's like, what?
Wait.
I actually see a tiny glitch there. If you look at Victor's.
This is the wait.
Yeah.
If you would play this
Monday.
Monday, play
Yeah,
it,
it's
you do
Monday.
ping pong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Windows ready.
Yeah, yes. Right. So just next thing.
Next time.
What is this? E2.
H. Yes, sure.
And the
How do I make? How does this thing work? I mean, how do I make? How does this thing work?
That will never get tired. Yeah, that was, I don't know, sometime this week. Anyway, next. Do I have anything?
B1 we haven't seen.
Sure. Oh, this
Yes, we
is.
have blue steel.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
If you even go into the B1 version, that's actually funnier because that's the one that's really.
That was the rejected.
It's super fast. It's like what? Yeah. Matthew's like, yeah, no.
Ready to
Yeah, make it a bit softer.
Oh, imagine the hair for that.
Yeah. Whoosh. Yeah, the blender was working really slow for me when I was doing that, so it felt way slower. And then I saw it at the daily. It's like, yeah, I gotta slow it down. Really fast. Yeah, that's probably it. I don't know. There's probably other stuff there also in my weekly thing. I don't know. It's like reference footage and stuff that's not that.
Wait.
Yeah, no, just wait here. Just don't move. Blah 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 blah. I was doing.
You are talking.
Yeah, all right. Great lip syncing. I do too many hand gestures. So I basically took this, kind of took out a lot of the hand gestures, kind of simplified the whole thing. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Sarah.
Well, in my folder there is only 2 videos, I think. And we already saw them, so there is no surprise.
Also show their rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is fucking hooves.
Wait.
With sound?
Of course. This better be good. It took me ages to tie that rope with my fucking boots. No more sheepy business. device squeaky clean. Well, this better be good. It took me ages to tie that rope with my fucking boots. No more sheepy business.
Yep. So yeah, that was F1. That was most of my week, and when I got bored, I did the sheep.
Same one.
The sheep eating. That was the relaxing part when I was like too stressed.
Look at the tail.
Flies now.
Are there going to be flies?
There should be butterflies.
Look at the
Ah.
monkey head.
White ones?
No. Did you already add a monkey head in the movie?
No.
No. It's always this. I don't.
No.
They never
It's a
tell me.
jungle.
They always add monkey heads in the movie, but I don't know if I have to find out where monkey heads are. But there are already monkey heads.
No. In the jungle there, the sheep are actually monkeys.
Yeah, they kind of look like
With a
monkeys.
lattice modifier. Just take Suzanne and extrude. I actually
How did you animate this? With everything local, duplicate stuff like that? Or was it with proxy?
I know they are proxified.
Yeah.
The proxies? Yeah.
They're
Because
proxies.
each sheep is a different model.
Ah, so every sheep is a different model.
Yes.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, the guest. Click, 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 click. Manu. Oh, the last.
Hello.
For you.
Yeah, lighting stuff. Let's start with the island.
Farming hard.
Well, it's the first versions, but except this. This was from last weekend.
I did it last week. I'm sorry.
The naming. Oh.
I know you're putting us, the rest of us looking.
I have like 4K video.
It should not be.
So,
But yeah, it farmed last weekend, but it is two tiny waves. So in the next image, we probably get back the old ocean. There is a still image of that. This one, I don't know. And Matthew adjusted the lighting. Would be nice to have it already finished.
nice, you added them.
A little bit something. I don't know. And then there is probably a lot of those. Simple lighting scenes with only the basic settings are put in, and
Should I go through?
it's the first draft of everything.
Render, his face is so different.
Yeah. They have to reanimate that shot now.
Animate with cycles
It looks really different.
constantly.
Are you sure this is correct?
It is, no, but there is a back and forth between Frank and him, so
Yeah.
it's not always like
This
that.
is
There's
a
not
cutaway.
animation.
This is a
Yeah.
cutaway shot.
We should send the whole sequence, but it's cut in the middle, like when he's not doing anything, of course. Especially the shadows make the.
He's not blinking, then it's Frank's.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shadow goes into the face and everything.
That's actually not. I like the shadow.
In Victor's face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't cover the eyes, then it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has a mini.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's a good sign. But yeah, I didn't adjust anything. I just throw everything in there and put it to farm. Yo. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, next.
But you fixed that, was it so? No? Okay. Okay.
He's breathing on egg.
That.
Wow.
And then there is this.
Well, yeah, it's well, yeah.
People think it's a kids movie, but
Oh.
Then there is this.
Yeah, this is creepy.
the best animation ever.
Yeah.
Come on.
You should have a droid here.
Just need a soundtrack for this. You can just make an edit of all these cutaways.
That's good. Yeah. He's so enthusiastic about Frank. He forgets to swallow saliva. He forgets to bleed.
Yes. It's like a believer thing, right? Victor forgot to act. Like, I was waiting for the suction.
Yeah. Let's move.
No.
How's your looking back?
Yeah.
Oh. Super high res. Zoom in all the way on his eye.
What time is it?
No. At least it has the moving grass now. With that, what animate. Well, yeah.
And then there.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bam.
Closer.
Very close.
Yeah, it was the first version. For the second version, I tried to make the hair a little bit thinner. I think it might look nicer. And in the next one is the same shot, but with render from France without the noise.
Oh, France.
Quarno. That's nice and fast.
Yeah. So this is one reason why it's good to override settings. For example, the width, the thickness of the hair. You did it with Python, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
And there's like one hair that's floating around there.
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, over his eye. Like,
Yeah, in the middle of his nose, like.
That's in the
But-
eyebrow, I think.
yeah.
Just paint it.
All the details.
Now you want one little tear.
You're gonna get the tear.
I thought the
You're
animation.
gonna get tears.
What?
Isn't it just a tear simulation? Look at
Meta.
Yeah. That was the last one. What was it?
Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay, that's it.
All right.
So isn't that great progress? We were still in time for.
What did you do this week?
it.
We got the farm. We got the whole Shasta. 5 years old.
I'm always busy. So we are ready and we quit the show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Come back next week for another episode with exciting guests and progress of the movie. Bye.
Bye. Whoa. Whoa. Angel. Yay. Where is my mouse? Wait.